I was sorting the mail on my desk when an envelope from Bellamy Gardens caught my eye. It's the fancy wedding venue everyone in town dreams about. I didn't remember ever hearing from them before. I opened it and slid out a crisp contract, with a pretty letterhead that glowed in the morning light. Halfway through a sip of coffee, I froze. There it was. My name, signed at the bottom, committing me to $76,000 for my sister Destiny's wedding. Except it wasn't my signature. Not really. The loops were too round. The slant was too sharp. It was close. Good even. But I know my own handwriting. My stomach flipped. The room tilted around me. This had Destiny written all over it. The curls at the end of letters. The dot over the I that always lands a little to the right. She had forged my name on a $76,000 contract. My fingers went numb. The coffee cup slipped, shattered on the floor, and brown liquid splashed over my bare feet. I barely felt it. "This can't be real," I whispered. With shaking hands, I dialed the venue number printed at the top. "Bellamy Gardens," a cheerful voice sang. "How may I help you?" "This is Andy Collins," I said, my voice too high. "I'm calling about a wedding contract for Destiny Collins." The woman brightened. "Oh yes, we're thrilled about your sister's big day. And what a generous gift. It's so lovely when family steps up like this." A tear slipped down my cheek. My generous gift. The gift I never promised. The one I actually said no to. "Thank you," I managed and hung up. Memories hit me like rain. 16-year-old me scooping ice cream late into the night while Destiny tanned at the pool. My graduation money borrowed for her spring break in Cancun. The quiet loans that vanished into emergencies that always seemed to land in her lap. "You're the responsible one," Mom would say. "Destiny's just finding herself." 2 months ago at Sunday dinner, she had flashed her giant ring while Dad stared at me. "Since that promotion's coming," he said, topping off his wine, "you could help pay for Destiny's wedding." Everyone stared. My hands shook under the table. "I can't afford that," I whispered. "I'm still paying off my student loans." Silence. Mom sighed. Dad frowned. Destiny pouted. "Family takes care of family, Andy," Dad said. Mom patted my hand. "Don't. You want your sister to be happy?" Destiny chimed in. "And with your promotion coming, the deposit's due next week." In that moment, I saw it clearly. I wasn't a daughter or a sister to them. I was an ATM with a heartbeat. My phone buzzed then. An email. Subject line, interior design position. Charleston office interested in your portfolio. Eleanor at work. Had mentioned this opening. 3 states away. A clean page. I touched the forged signature again. All those years I put myself second, and this is what they did. Fraud. Theft. "No more," I whispered. Something hard and steady rose up inside me. Couldn't sleep that night. At 3 a.m., the laptop lit my face while I searched years of emails. I typed wedding into the box. There it was. A thread from 2 months ago between Mom, Dad, and Destiny. Subject, Andy's contribution. I clicked. "She'll give in eventually," Mom wrote. "She always does. Remember when she said she wouldn't pay for Destiny's car repairs?" She wrote the check within a week. Destiny replied, "If not, we'll figure something out." She's got the credit for it. I felt sick. This wasn't asking for help. This was a plan to take it. I opened a new spreadsheet. Family loans. I dug through bank statements, credit card bills, and old emails. Every line was a promise broken. Double shifts so Destiny could go to Cancun. Grandma's graduation gift that helped Mom. Dad's tiny business investment. By sunrise, the total stared back at me, $42,387. And now a $76,000 venue on top of it. I rubbed my eyes. A Christmas memory tugged at me. Destiny borrowing my card for one small gift for Mom. January's bill had designer charges stacked, like dominoes. My phone buzzed at 9. Destiny. Just saw the bridal suite. Amazing. Thinking of upgrading flowers. Only extra for Kelvin's. Thoughts? A photo attached, her posing in a plush room with a champagne glass. No fiancé in sight. I didn't reply. 20 minutes later, Mom called. Andy, sweetie, did you see Destiny's message about the flowers? They need an answer by tomorrow. I'm not paying for flowers, I said. My voice sounded stronger than I felt. A heavy sigh through the phone. This isn't like you, Andy. What will people think if the wedding looks cheap? The Hendersons are already talking about your generosity. I never agreed to pay for anything, I said. Family supports family, she murmured, layering disappointment like a coat I was meant to wear. I just hope you aren't turning into one of those selfish career women who forget where they came from. After we hung up, I checked my credit. It had dropped 40 points. There was a hard inquiry from Bellamy Gardens and a new line of credit. They didn't just forge my signature, they used my credit. The phone rang again, Eleanor from work. Hey, thought about Charleston? The hiring manager called me. They're serious. I sat up straighter. Serious? She smiled through the phone. 20% higher pay plus relocation, and you'd be away from all the drama. Hope fluttered in my chest. I called James the one friend who really knew. They forged my name, I said, for $76,000. He was quiet. Andy, that's not normal. That's abuse. That's a crime. His words felt like permission. What if I just left? I asked. Honestly, he said, it might be the only way to stop them from draining you. I updated my resume while Mom texted nonstop about wedding details. My hands shook again, but not from fear, from possibility. The interview got scheduled for Monday at lunch. While my family imagined me picking napkins, I'd be interviewing for a life of my own. Thank you for the recommendation, I told Eleanor in the break room the next morning. You've earned it, she said, squeezing my shoulder. Charleston would be lucky to have you. I smiled, really smiled. I pictured a paycheck I could keep, credit cards only I could touch, holidays that didn't end with me footing the bill. Mom. Texted again. Destiny added monogrammed napkins. Only $3 per guest. We're at $300 now. Will you call the venue to approve? I silenced my phone, slid it into my desk, and blocked Thursday lunch for personal business. Sunday dinner felt like a trap. Before I could hang my coat, Aunt Mabel hugged me with wet eyes. You sweet, generous girl, she cooed, funding the whole wedding. Mom swept in, linking her arm through mine. The Hendersons are asking about the venue. Come tell them how you insisted on Bellamy Gardens. The room hummed with relatives smiling at me like I was their golden ticket. Dad stood by the fireplace like a general. My daughter Andy wouldn't hear of anything less, he bragged. She said Destiny deserves a perfect day. Words I had never said. Destiny floated in a pale pink dress, loving the attention. She bounced, over with a huge floral sample, crystals dangling from silver roses. Centerpieces. Only 12 per table. We need at least 30 tables. You said the sky's the limit. 30 tables, I croaked. How many guests? 300, Mom said, flipping open her planner. That feels right for our family, don't you think? 300 guests, at a place I never agreed to pay for. My head pounded. The planner needs your card for the ice sculpture deposit, Destiny chirped. I muttered something about air and slipped outside. Monday, I sat in my car over lunch and opened my laptop. Gregory Winters, creative director at Charleston Home and Design, smiled from the screen. Your portfolio shows restraint, he said. Your spaces breathe. Thank you, I said evenly. I design rooms people can live in. Salary expectations? He asked. 3 months ago, I would have apologized for wanting to be paid. Today, I said, based on my experience and the Charleston market, $82,000 plus standard benefits. He raised his brows. Not annoyed, impressed. That's our range. We finished with a real laugh I didn't have to fake. We'll be in touch soon, he said. I ended the call and realized my hands weren't shaking. That week, I gathered everything I'd need. Saturday, Mom put on a show of surprise when the doorbell rang and a well-known planner, Marissa, swept in with fat binders. Andy, finally, we meet. Your sister talks about you all the time. Here are the invoices for your approval. My approval? I asked, flipping through pages. Custom champagne flutes, monogrammed napkins, string quartet, imported orchids, each stamped A. Collins approval required. These numbers are high, I said. What's this $10,000 for lighting? Marissa frowned. Your sister said you specifically requested premium theatrical lighting. Destiny went pale. Andy loves dramatic lighting, she said too quickly. Right, Andy? I looked up calmly. Can I see all the contracts, please? Mom jumped in with cinnamon rolls and distraction. While they fussed in the kitchen, I snapped photos of every page with my phone. That evening, James arrived with takeout and legal printouts. In this state, you can break a lease if you prove identity theft, he said, pointing to the statute, especially with proof of a forged signature. Eleanor sent 3 links to small, clean apartments near the Charleston office. Not fancy, she wrote, but safe and 20 minutes from work. I clicked a 1-bedroom with a tiny balcony. The rent was reasonable. The distance from my family? Priceless. Tuesday morning, an email landed in my private inbox. I got the job. The salary I asked for. Start date in 3 weeks. I drove to an empty parking lot and accepted on the spot. That night, I signed a lease for the Charleston apartment. Move-in lined up perfectly with my plan. 2 weeks, I told my reflection, looking at the life I had built with my own hands. The vintage desk I refinished, the watercolor I bought after my first promotion, shelves stacked with design books. A photo of me at my design school graduation. I was beaming then, proud and hopeful. I touched the frame and cried, cleansing tears this time. I deserve to keep what I earn, I said out loud. The weekend turned tactical. I recorded Mom talking about Andy's contribution. I gathered bank statements with odd charges. I saved every text where I had clearly refused. Monday morning, I called a moving company. The 14th at noon, I said. Any reason for the exact time? The scheduler asked. Yes, my family will be at a cake tasting. I emailed Bellamy Gardens, explaining the forgery. Moving day was bright and clear. From my window, I watched Mom's SUV pull away with Dad, Destiny, and the planner. My phone vibrated nonstop with Destiny's cake photos. 10 minutes later, the moving truck rumbled in. I took a breath, hand on the knob. 7 missed calls. From Destiny lit up my screen in 3 minutes. The game's starting, I thought, and smiled. I opened the door. We'll start with the labeled boxes, I told the movers. My voice sounded new, steady and sure, not the quiet murmur I used around my family. I handed them a floor plan and dialed my landlord. I've documented identity theft, I said. The lease break fee should be waived under tenant protection laws. He reviewed the folder I'd prepared. Wouldn't want this happening to my own daughter, he said. Paperwork will be ready tomorrow. Relief warmed my chest. The movers worked smoothly. While they wrapped my furniture, I transferred my accounts to the Charleston branch and canceled my credit cards, asking for new numbers. Mom's name flashed again, her 5th call in half an hour. I let it go to voicemail. Andrea Collins, Mom. Snapped, urgent, and angry. The venue needs decisions on lighting by 3. Call me now. 3 more voicemails followed. I saved them all. Destiny's texts hit next. The venue says you haven't confirmed anything. If you ruin this for me, I'll never forgive you. After everything we've done for you, this is how you repay us? I saved those too. Dad's voice came booming in a voicemail. Family takes care of family, Andrea. You have responsibilities. Don't make me come find you. I saved that twice. Checked Facebook. Mom had posted, heartbroken when children forget where they come from. After all parents sacrifice. Comments stacked up. My roommate from college wrote, Andy is the most responsible person I know. There must be a misunderstanding. My cousin asked. I thought the wedding was being scaled back. Aunt Carol said it costs over $70,000. One of Destiny's bridesmaids wrote, I thought Andy was just coordinating, not paying. I watched the cracks appear in their story. James called. The truck with your bookshelf and desk just left my place, he said. Everything's safe in my spare room. Eleanor called your new office. They're ready whenever you are. My new landlord emailed, early move-in is fine. Sarah from college offered her guest room for a week. Tears blurred my vision. I wasn't doing this alone. An email popped up. The venue. Urgent payment deadline. The next $22,000 was due in 3 days or the reservation would be canceled. A text from Mom's friend at the catering company followed. Your mom keeps asking me to extend the deposit. I can't do it again. Business is business. Then Destiny's future mother-in-law messaged me. We're worried about the finances. Can we talk? Destiny's roommate texted. Destiny's crying. Might have to cancel the florist and photographer. I looked at the coffee mug I broke the day I found the contract. I had glued it back together, leaving the cracks visible. I left it on the counter with a note. Some things, once broken, can't be the same. 4 days after I moved, my phone exploded. 23 messages the first hour after Mom found my empty apartment. 37 more by night. How could you abandon your family? She wrote. Dad threatened legal trouble if I backed out. I set the phone on the table in my new Charleston place and watched it vibrate. The afternoon sun slid across the floor. I'd been there only 4 days, but it already felt like home. Aunt Meredith called. Your mother is hysterical. Everyone's confused. Can't you just come to your senses? I let it play and end. The calendar on my wall showed the wedding date, circled in red. 1 week away. Destiny called next. Against my better judgment, I answered. You selfish, ungrateful witch, she hissed. After everything we've done for you. Everything you've done for me? I repeated, my voice strangely calm. Pay for the wedding or you're dead to me, she said. Your choice. That's your choice to make, I answered and hung up. I opened my email. The file I'd prepared for weeks was ready. I checked it one last time. A clear letter to Bellamy Gardens explaining the forgery, a simple handwriting analysis showing the differences, and an audio file of Destiny telling her maid of honor I signed Andy's name as a favor to push things along. I hit send. Within an hour, an unfamiliar number rang. The venue manager sounded polite but tense. Miss Collins, we received your email. This is unusual. We'll need to speak with your sister and parents at once. I understand, I said. My lawyer will also contact the credit bureaus. The contract was signed without my consent. I sent one, more email, to the extended family. I kept it calm and factual. No attacks, just proof. Texts where I refused, bank statements showing years of loans, and the venue's note that the signature didn't match my ID. My phone rang again, almost immediately, but this time people were asking what happened. My cousin Thomas said the venue had called his dad for urgent payment or they'd cancel. Ask Destiny, I said. Or better yet, ask her fiancé's parents. Over the next few hours, updates trickled in. Postponement messages went out. My parents begged relatives for emergency loans. Destiny cried at the florist while canceling exotic flowers, and the groom's father demanded a prenup. When the phone finally went quiet, I poured a glass of wine and stepped onto my tiny balcony. Charleston's night air held me like a soft blanket. For the first time in years, my shoulders rested. I called Destiny the next morning. She picked up fast. Come to apologize? She croaked. No, I said. I forgive you, but I won't forget. You've ruined everything, she snapped. I've started over, I said. Charleston is beautiful. My new firm values me. My apartment fills with morning sun. We're your family, she whispered. The wedding bill is the result of your choices, not mine, I said. Maybe it's time you felt what consequences are. I hung up. James told me my parents spent the day meeting with loan officers. Destiny cut bridesmaids from 8 to 4. The ice sculpture, fireworks, and designer dress were gone. That night, Mom left a final voicemail. Andy, we never meant for it to go this far. Her voice broke. I let it finish and deleted it. Outside, the sun slid down over Charleston, painting the sky in colors I never saw in my old life. Some bridges burn for a reason. I closed my eyes and breathed, feeling 76,000 pounds of expectation lift from my shoulders. 3 months later, morning light spills across my shelves of design books, now arranged neatly on reclaimed wood I love to touch. My apartment is modest, but entirely mine. No financial ghosts hiding in corners. A project ping lights my phone. I smooth my blazer, glance in the mirror, and notice something new. My shoulders aren't curled forward anymore. The southern. Sunrise turns my little balcony to gold as I sip coffee. The lightness I feel isn't just from less debt. It's from more possibility. At work, Marcus, our senior designer, leans against my desk. "We need these boards by Monday," he says, eyes testing my limits. "I know it's your weekend, but..." I smile. "I have plans this weekend. I can come in early Monday to finish." His eyebrows lift. "Really? I figured you'd chase brownie points." "I value my personal time," I say. The word no is easy now. I'll deliver great work during work hours. Later, I walk King Street and realize I didn't rehearse that boundary. I didn't shake. I didn't apologize. My therapist calls this progress. Dr. Levine's office is my weekly hour to cut through old patterns. The first no is the hardest, she told me. Each one after gets easier. My journal agrees. Week 1 in Charleston. Woke up panicking about money. Last week, spent a day exploring and didn't check my phone once. At my small, bright housewarming. Eleanor brings a fiddle leaf fig that stands like a crown by my window. James sends a care package and a note that says, "Proud of you" doesn't begin to cover it. Eleanor raises her glass. To new beginnings, and to the family we choose. I hold back tears. Family isn't always blood. It's who shows up. When Tara, our junior designer, whispers about a client pushing unpaid revisions, I see a familiar pattern. "Your work has worth," I tell her, "and so do you." Helping her step back from a line I once crossed feels like closing a circle. An email arrives with photos of Destiny's scaled-down wedding. I feel no rush of triumph. I send a simple congratulations card and move on with my day. The biggest surprise isn't that I've forgiven. It's that I no longer need to measure my healing against her choices. One evening, I stand by the Charleston waterfront with a letter from my mother. The words are softer than I'm used to. They sound almost like regret. I don't rush to answer. The guilt that used to eat me alive has become a quiet acceptance. "Some bridges burn for a reason," I whisper as the sun drops into the water. The harbor stretches out in every direction, open as a map. Is forgiveness required to heal? Or can walking away be the kindest gift you give yourself? I don't know yet. But for the first time, I have the space to find out on my own terms.